Hello viewers, today I want us to talk about why your spiritual walk is not working for you. There are times when you receive calls from people and text messages from people that they performed a certain spiritual work and it didn't work for them. But you yourself, whenever you perform it, it will work for you. So there are reasons why those spiritual works are not working for certain people. And I want to tell us the reason why. And I would like you to check yourself very well in case you have passed through this. Maybe you have performed the spiritual work and it didn't work for you. Now I want you to listen to these reasons and then you check yourself to see if you have fallen in any of them. Now, one of the reasons why spiritual works doesn't work for certain people is, number one, is from the heart. There are people who has this wicked heart naturally. You don't have love for anything. You don't even have love for your fellow human being. Everything about you is hatred. Whenever you see someone progressing, you feel like bringing that person down. You will never rejoice with those who are rejoicing, and you will never mourn with those who are mourning. Your heart is just filled with envy, jealousy, and evil. And then all of a sudden you want to perform a spiritual work, either to progress or to get what belongs to you. No matter how you perform that spiritual work, it will not work for you. It will not work for you at all, because spiritual works needs a clean and a pure heart. Because when we talk about spiritual works, we are talking about dealing with spirits. It is spirits that we are invoking to come and help us in whatever we are doing. Now, when you possess this kind of heart, already your heart is filled with negativity. You don't expect positivity to enter where negativity is. And so it will not work for you. Now, one of the reasons also is doubt. So many people have this doubting spirit. There is nothing on earth you will tell them that 1 + 1 will give you 2 and they will believe you. They will never believe you at all until they see it with their two naked eyes. So when such people, has problem and you tell them that the solution to their problem is this, they will first of all doubt it. The next thing they will tell you is, how are you sure? Are you sure it's going to work? The moment you make this statement, even if you later become serious to perform that spiritual work, it will still not work for you, because you have already invited that doubting spirit. And that doubting spirit cannot be in the same place with the spirits that will perform that work. That spirit that will perform the work will go away, will make way for that doubting spirit, and the doubting spirit will not allow that spiritual work to work for you. Now, another reason is cleansing. When I'm talking about cleansing, I don't mean only being physically clean. I mean spiritually clean, psychologically clean, cleanness all around. There are times when people will engage themselves into immoral practices. Maybe you are a man, you went to meet with another woman, and after meeting with another woman, you come back to the spiritual work that you were supposed to perform. Or you are a woman and you do the same thing. When you perform that spiritual work, it will not work for you. For you to perform a spiritual work and it works for you, you will have to stay away from the opposite sex. Be it your husband, be it your wife, be it your boyfriend, whoever that person is. Stay away from the opposite sex so that you concentrate fully, so that your body, your soul, and your inner being will be neat. Nothing will tamper with it. So when you engage yourself in immoral practices, or you as a married man or as a married woman, you had intercourse with your partner, and then you come out immediately to perform a spiritual work, it will not work. For such things to work, you have to stay away from that person. Stay away from the opposite sex, so that whenever you perform, it will work for you. Now, another reason why your spiritual work doesn't work for you is not getting it right. Not getting the instructions right. There are times when you give teachings and you ask people to take bitter leaf in performing a spiritual work, and someone will tell you that he or she can find bitter leaf. Can I use spinach? When I didn't mention spinach. If you use spinach, in as much as it's a leaf, it will still not work for you. Whenever you mention something, or you mention a particular time and you ask people to do this by 12 midnight or do this by 3 o'clock in the morning, and they will give you excuses why they cannot do it and ask you, can I do it by 7 or by 6? If you do it at that time, not the time that you were asked to do it, it will not work for you. So there is nothing that is supposed to make your spiritual walk not work for you, if not for these reasons. If not for these reasons. So I want you to check yourself very well. Maybe you have performed spiritual works and it didn't work for you. Check yourself very well. And then you will see the reason why it didn't work for you. Now, the last but never the least is when you are not sure of what you are doing. Maybe someone is against you, someone has been treating you bad, someone is holding something that belongs to you, and you want to get that thing back. You have to be very sure that the person you are mentioning his or her name is actually the person who has been doing all these things to you. You have to be sure. When you perform a spiritual work on someone and you ask the spirit to go and visit the person so that the person will release whatever that belongs to you, or you ask them to visit the person and punish the person for what he or she has been doing to you. When the spirits get there, they know better. They know better than you and I, because they are not humans. The moment they get there, they will know whether that person is guilty or not. If the person is guilty, they will carry out your instructions immediately. But if the person is not guilty, of course, they can't do anything. They cannot do anything because the being you presented to them is the wrong being. And they cannot enforce their being into a wrong being. But whenever they visit the person and the person is guilty, that is when you see them acting. And that is where your spiritual work will work for you. But when they get there and the person you called is the wrong person, is the wrong identity, is the wrong being, they cannot perform. And in this type of situation, I will want us to be very careful. That is why I always emphasize on being sure of the person that you are calling his or her name as your enemy. You have to be very sure, because most of the times when this spirit gets back, when they get there and they discover that the person you gave them their name is innocent and not guilty, some of these spirits will get back to you. Thing gets back to you, you won't like the outcome. At all, you will not like the outcome. That is what we call backfiring. So you have to be very careful. Whenever you are performing any spiritual work that has to do with back to sender, be sure of the person you are calling his or her name so that it doesn't backfire against you. My name is Oge. In case you are joining us for the first time, you are highly welcome. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please, I would like you to subscribe and join us fully. This is the Spiritual Solution. And click on that notification bell so that you will always be notified whenever I post any clip. And until next time, when we are all going to meet, I will have to leave us here. Have a wonderful day and God bless.